host and co-host, Michael Wallace here, joining me here.
Aloha.
There we go.
See, I'm getting better.
This
Still
is better
awkward.
than last week.
Still awkward, but better.
We're here for another edition of the Wide World of Motorsports podcast, recording for the week of Sunday, October 3rd, 2021. It's already October. Already
Isn't that
fall.
crazy? Isn't that nuts?
We're getting into maybe even some of the final stretch here of the motorsports season for us, at least up here in Canada.
Yeah.
And yeah, you know, we're simulcast on 102.7 Radio Waterloo once a month, I think, or something like that, on Friday mornings at 10 a.m. I think. Hello, if you're listening to us there. Hello, if you're listening to us on Wide World of Motorsports podcast.wordpress.com. And you can also check us out on your favorite streaming service. We're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. We're on the important ones. And we're also on some side ones, too. You can check all that out on anchor.fm/the WWMS. You can also say, hey, Siri Alexa, pull up the Wide World of Motorsports on your smart device.
Hey,
Siri Alexa, what can you do for me here? Can you pull up the Wide World of Motorsports?
Put on that show with those two Canadian guys that kind of suck.
Put on that show with those guys that talk like they know what they're talking about. Yeah, bobbity boopity. Yeah, you can do that if you happen to live in New York or Jersey or something like that. But yeah, hey, we're also on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram at the WWOMS with updates. We share all things racing. We talk about our passion. We love racing. We live racing. As Dale Jr., as young Dale Earnhardt Jr. said in, I think, 93, early to mid 90s. I got it. You know, it's all renowned racing. So, hey, you know what? That's all ever known, racing. So we're here talking about it, and you're here listening to it. We want you to reach out to us on our social media at the WWOMS. Just say, hey, you guys suck. We actually have friends. We have lots of friends from Quebec. We're going to have our friend LP on the show a little later, though. 3-time NASCAR champion in the show today. But first, hey, you know what? Let's just talk quick about what happened to the Wide World of Motorsports this past weekend in NASCAR at Talladega. For the first time in NASCAR history, NASCAR said this themselves, for the first time ever, that there was a first-time winner in all series in one weekend. So with Tate Fogelman winning his first truck race, despite the contact with Nemechek on Friday, Brandon Brown with his win due to the darkness, which is legitimate, and as well as another legitimate win, Bubba Wallace winning with his first ever win due to the rain at Talladega. So lots of cool stuff in the world of NASCAR for sure. You know, it's always cool to see a first-time winner, but just for the whole weekend.
Well, yeah, and not only did we see a first-time winner in Bubba Wallace, we saw a first-time team win in 2311,
huge
and we saw, you know, Michael Jordan get his first win in the series as well. So nothing keeps sponsors or owners more happy than winning. So let's keep that up and keep guys like Michael in the sport.
So going into the Roval this weekend, there is 7 playoff spots up for grabs. Who knows what's going to happen going into the Charlotte Roval? We'll obviously have it covered on the show next week.
Yeah.
But hey, we got lots to get to today. We got a 3-time NASCAR champion from Trois-Rivières with one win at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. He was able to come into the championship talk, and he was able to seal the deal for the 2021 NASCAR Pinty Series Championship. We got LP Dumoulin. Welcome to the Wide World of Motorsports. Thank you very much for being here.
Thanks for having me, guys.
One of our favorite guests. I think you're one of our most frequent guests. So always great to have the champ here.
There you go.
So first off, we'll start off with the win at CTMP with the first race of the year. You got your first win there. Throughout the season, you did find a lot of consistency over focusing on the wins. Was that favored over getting trophies?
That's a hard question. To be honest with you, this was a very special championship for everybody. I think NASCAR and Pinty's and everybody around the series very worked hard to give us a championship in 2021, because 2020 was a different year, obviously with the COVID things, and Jason Hathaway had that championship. That was a 6 race oval deal, and then they brought this year a different package to help try and get through the pandemic stuff. So but the thing is, it was very challenging for all the teams to get 10. At the beginning, it was supposed to be 11, but 10 races within 2 months. It was a lot of work for everybody on the teams and the whole series to make it happen, with all the traveling and going back and forth, oval and road course type of racing. So getting to the point here is, to be honest, yes, sometime, at the end of the championship, when I was going to Flamborough and Delaware, I was maybe looking more at the points, but we had a fair amount of curved ball as well with the WeatherTech Benmar car over the season. There was a couple races that we thought we had a chance to win, and then we had a tire problem at some point, brake problem at other places, and a couple things here and there that took us, kept us away from winning more races this season or doing more podiums. But at the end, our car was reliable, and we were capable of fighting through the whole season and improving the car. I think that was the main the main deal this season. Is, yes, we won a championship, but with all the problems we overcome them, and we got out of that championship with a lot of positive stuff, improving both programs, the road course and the oval program as well. So yes, I'm super proud of my people, super proud of my team, my sponsors and partners and everybody on board, because we all had, all the teams, all the drivers, we had a couple tough years, with the pandemic stuff. So to come out of it with a championship is huge. It's epic. It feels outstanding, and going into the winter like that is a big deal for us. But on top of it, as I told you, we're feeling that we improved a fair amount of our program. So that brings a lot of motivation in the shop, a lot of motivation around the people in the team, and from the driver to the crew chief to the car chief to the people in the logistic and the marketing, everybody around, sponsors. It's a big deal for sure.
Yeah, and
that's great.
Yeah, absolutely. Wallace, you got anything there?
Yeah, listening to you talk about a challenging year, we saw more double headers this year. 2 at CTMP, 2 at 3 at Delaware, 2 at Sunset. Did that add pressure to the weekend? Because previously, if you had a bad weekend, you had a bad weekend. Now, if you had a bad weekend, it really counted towards 2 weekends. So did that add a pressure to the season?
Absolutely. It's a very good point. And again, that's the way they had to do it this year because of the situation. But I think everybody wants to go back closer to normal for the future and get like a real 13 races, 13 weekends championship deal. I mean, when you go out west and you have one doubleheader there and then maybe another one doubleheader here, it's not too bad.
Right.
But you don't want to do that like every weekend, because it could be a real deal on your second race. Can become well, first of all, if you have a problem in the first race, it starts a nightmare, and then if you cannot make it to the second race, then you have a double nightmare. So it's just It just
Right.
it is it's I mean it's, and then again, it's not the way that our series was based on, and that's not the way
No,
that
no.
our program and partners and sponsorship, and I mean everything is based on the show and make it like more strategy. And I think it's called NASCAR, so it's gotta, you gotta keep it NASCAR style on a lot of things too. So and this year, just to see the fans back at the track was outstanding. Just to see them, okay, it was not exactly the way it used to be, but at least we can see some light at the end of the tunnel there. That we can see the fans and exchange with them and see them at the track in the stands. And it was a very, very cool feeling to see all of that. And again, is it going to be normal in the future? Who knows? But at least we're going in the right direction, and then we want to get back to the same program we used to have. And I think our series is strong. There's a lot of drivers, a lot of teams, a lot of cars. Like this year was pretty impressive to see all the cars there. And I think the fans love the show. So we want to keep building on that for sure.
Yes, it was great to see. The series did a fantastic job for what the year gave them, and the series and all the teams deserve a good kudos to putting up with an unusual year.
Yeah, we got to take our hats off to the Pinty series and the drivers and the media and all the fans, and especially going into that final weekend at Delaware, seeing the fans there and seeing how that facility has improved. It looks like an awesome track. LP, you going into Delaware, it looks like for the first time in a couple of years. How did that feel?
Well, it felt actually pretty good because, again, as I told you, we found a lot of, I think, what was the problems with our oval program. And then I felt pretty confident with my team, my people that works with me every day, every week. We figured, and then a lot of people actually helped us on, from in the racing industry, people that knows what they do. We had a lot of talk with them too, and at one point we figured like our setup was going to be pretty decent for the long run stuff. Maybe not in qualification, but we were going to be pretty good for a solid race, and that's the way I was looking at it. I mean, getting into Delaware, it's a track I like a lot. I like the angle of 3 and 4, the way you can drive hard in 1 and 2, and it's a racy track. I mean, you can put a lot of pressures on other driver, and although with all the rain we had this season, I mean, it was maybe the second groove was not coming in as quick as we wanted, but it's just it's weather related. So. But I mean, at the end of the day, we got into that weekend with 3 races to do, 11 points behind Tagliani, and 25 points. I think we had Ranger behind us. So something like that. I mean, and then again, I was not looking too much behind, but the thing is at one point during the weekend, we had a strong car. I felt I was capable of finishing top 5 and fighting for podiums, and who knows, for the win actually at some point. So that felt really good. And I know Alex had some problem with his car, and I don't know exactly what happened with him, but at some point we ended up fighting in the last race. We ended up fighting with Kennington and Ranger for a championship. So to have a good car felt really good, and all the adjustment we did to the car all weekend long, I think we were moving in the right direction because of the basic stuff we had the shop during the 2 weeks prior to that. So again, it was outstanding to be out there and then be contending for the championship, and everybody was extremely serious and focused, and we're putting the extra effort on the preparation and making sure that everything is perfect on the car, setup wise and mechanical wise and preparation wise, as well with the logistic around it. So I think it was outstanding.
Interesting. So talking about that weekend and you alluding to Alex, which kind of goes back to, earlier when we were talking about having a bad weekend and how that will affect you when you're doing double headers, or in this case, kind of a triple header through the weekend. I know you have the Saturday break, but, did you feel more pressure going into this weekend, or knowing that there were maybe things out of your control, like you needed tag to maybe have that bad weekend, but you can't count on somebody having a bad weekend. So was it more pressure or less pressure, or were you just so confident it was just you guys were in a good headspace to be there?
There's different way to look at it. I mean, personally, when I get into a weekend like that with, you're playing the championship, and actually that starts like usually, I mean, maybe not this year it was the same, but every year as the season unfold, and then you end up towards the end and you do like 13 races, 11, 10, whatever. Mm-hmm. At some point you see who's going to get in the funnel at the end to make it towards the championship. So you look at it, I was looking at Alex, but 11 points within 3 races for me was all doable. Even if Alex had just like an okay weekend, I was still capable of fighting those 11 points. I'm very sure, because again, right. we focused on the car, we focused on the speed, we focused on our program. I didn't focus too much on the other cars and the other drivers and the other teams. And they had a big advantage because they raced there for many, many years. And yes, it goes through your mind here and there, but you cannot just think about that. It's going to bring you down. Right. You got to think about your stuff and then make it work. On top of it, on our team, we have a friend of us that works with us. Is in his family, there's Canadian Tire stores, and then he had a contact for us. We worked at the Canadian Tire in London on Wellington on the Saturday. So for us, I mean, cool. It was almost like home. Awesome. We went racing on that Friday, and then we unloaded on the Saturday morning in front of the hotel at the Canadian Tire there, and the people there just say, go ahead, use the shop, use the lift there, use the hoist there. And
that's awesome.
And it was people working, it was super smooth and a lot of fun. And we were capable of focusing again on prepping the cars and getting ready for the next day. So, and get back to the championship deal. As you said, there's more pressure. There's always pressure. Every race are important. Every race weekend are important. And when you have a bad day, That's why people get so pissed, because there's so much work behind it. There's so much work behind it, and so much emotion and passion.
Which we saw.
A lot.
Yeah, you saw that. Well, that's the thing. But that that goes back and forth on all the teams. And one thing I can tell you is that as I was getting in the weekend, yes, I had to fight with Alex, but I knew deeply inside that, looking at the standing with 3 races remaining, I was looking at Ranger, Kennington, Camiran, all the other guys. I mean, I cannot name them all, but I know that in the top 10, top 8, there was a lot of guys that were capable of fighting Lacroix, and I mean, all those guys. I know Taylor was fighting hard as well, and then they were capable of finishing in the top 3 or top 5 because it was so tight in the championship for top 5, 4, 3 as well. So those guys are very good drivers, very good teams, and they want to bring a top 5. They want to bring a top 3 for the winter. They don't want to bring 8. If they're capable of fighting for top 3 in the championship, they'll give it all with 3 races remaining. So right. Those people are fighting among each other within the same championship. So as you get there thinking, what do you think is going to happen? They're going to watch just the 2 guys in front of the championship just doing their deal. No. They're going to fight hard. They're going to do their things. They're going to try to win races. They're going to try to bring some podiums. And then you have other people that doesn't do the full season. but are super good drivers as well, and they want to do well. I'm thinking about Shepard, Gemmell, and then Watson, and then there's a lot of very good drivers out there that wants to do well. Sorry, think about the Lapsevich kid.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Kid was super good too. He had a bunch of bad luck through the season, so I cannot name them all, but I'm telling you that field is very competitive. They are a good driver, good teams, and when you get with 3 races remaining, there's no time for slowing down. There's no time for overthinking stuff. You got to get going.
Right, and that was one of my most favorite seasons this season, and I think that with everything going into the final weekend, obviously there was a lot of other factors in play for sure, and we saw that on TSN, and we were able to. I was there too, but we were able to see, like I said, one of probably the most entertaining seasons thus far, and
one of the most entertaining weekends. I would have to rate the 3 races at Delaware were probably they were in the top 3 of the season almost, I think.
And being able to see all those other battles and being able to see you go for your 3rd championship, I mean that was awesome. That was really cool. I think that your burnout there was it was when you went into the pit wall there a little bit. That looked like it was you meant to do that. So, but hey man, you burned it down. It was your 3rd championship. You're becoming the new vet on the block.
Well, that burnout. I wanted to really warm up those tires good, and then Larry Jackson came over, helped me with that slide there. I wanted to get going, and then once we got it going again, then I think we had a pretty slow crawl going all the way up to the trophy. I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah,
and it was a lot of fun to do it.
Yeah, it's you burned out. It worked out perfectly. You ended up going right into the victory lane there. Awesome pictures all around. It was great for photos. You had a couple cool photos there.
Well, hey man, you know what? We had a blast doing it. For a 3rd time with WeatherTech, and WeatherTech, Benmar, my sponsor, everybody, the partners that help us, and then the fans and family, everybody around us. I knows the energy that's behind that, the emotion that's behind it, and I can tell you one thing: we go to the racetrack to win races, and we go there to win the championship. That's the only reason we do this. Of course, we love it. We love racing, but we love being up front. That's the whole deal. So to win a 3rd one is just magic again. Like, is there's one better than the other? No, they're all different. They all have so many stories behind them. There's so many things that we had to do to make it happen. Getting this one, full, just after we're still in pandemic doing all that stuff. I mean, there was so many things that the series and teams had to do during the season to make it happen. It's a huge relief on top of it. So yeah, it was epic.
Yeah, I from my stats here, I believe you're tied with Andrew Ranger for most active drivers. With most championships. So with that 4th championship potentially looming there, you might be able to have some bragging rights over Andrew there.
Hey, you know what? He's a very, very good driver. And then again, 3 championship, yes. But to do that, we need more wins. We need more podiums. We need to be up front. There's going to be a lot of work behind all of it. And again, I'm doing this to run up front. So of course, going for more championship is the plan, and I'm not done with it. We love it.
Awesome.
We're ready to work very hard to do it.
Finally, here you're going to be able to take that chip back to Trois-Rivières, and you're going to be able to, like, obviously there's lots of racing history there, and with your family, and taking your 3rd chip back for the off season here. What's some of the plans there? What do you got planned in the next few months?
Oh yeah, well, we have a lot of TV show and stuff, and then media events, and then all the things that goes around winning a championship, which is totally fine to me. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a lot of fun. But aside from that, we have to keep digging here. We have a lot of work to get done in the shop to get ready for the next season, and yes, maybe a bit of relaxed time here and there, but you got to keep you focused on the task and the focus on what has to get done before next season. And we would like to have a second team within the same team. You know what I'm saying? Like a second car running full time in our team.
Oh,
so we'll see how things goes.
That would be cool.
We have people talking. We're talking with some people that wants to do like all the road courses and maybe find someone to do all the oval and stuff. And we'll see how it goes. But we have the equipment to do it. We have the people to do it, and that would be great. And JF, my brother, is still working on a couple of things on his side as well. He likes to.
Got to get the bro in there.
Yeah. He did very well at Three River Grand Prix this season, and
yes, he did. Yeah.
He's the shop director as well, helping on everything. So we'll see how things goes on that end. But that's the plan right now. And then, believe me, man, within a couple months, it's gonna be April. So
yeah.
I mean, it's gonna go quick. So we have to be ready.
Hey, LP, I know a couple drivers that could potentially run for this extra entry here, and you can call up Wallace and I here for running that. Or maybe if you want to throw the Wide World of Motorsports on there, go right ahead.
Yeah. Well, everybody's open for sponsorship, for sure.
All right.
There you go.
There we go, Wallace. We're going to make it in NASCAR.
Sweet.
So, hey, man, all the biggest congrats to you. Being in media, I got to not be biased. But, hey, when I see you win, I love it. It's always great to see you do good, and I got my LP hat always proudly displayed here at the WOMS studios here.
That's awesome. Thank you, guys. Thanks for having us.
Thank you, man.
Yes,
and
congratulations.
All the best to you in your off season here.
Oh yeah, let's keep digging.
Sounds good. See you down the bend, buddy.
Ciao, guys.
So for us to be able to have a NASCAR champion who just won, by the way, he's busy with his schedule. So thanks to the Jessica at the team there and LP for being able to give us some time and to be able to talk to the Wide World of Motorsports. And as we were talking, he's been on the show lots, and we love him. So we gotta give him the appreciation. We love LP here at the WOMS.
Yeah.
Proudly display that. But hey, you know what? That wraps it up for this edition. Make sure you check us out on the Wide World of Motorsports podcast.wordpress.com on your favorite streaming service, or of course, just say, hey, Siri Alexa, I want the Wide World of Motorsports on my TV. Hey, pull it up now.
Siri,
Let's do this. It's going to be good for you.
Go.
You know it's good for you.
Bada bing.
All right, folks, that's it. We'll see you down the bend.
See you later.
Hey, Baba da Boop. You do what's good for you.
Hi, this is Alex Tagliani, NASCAR Pinty Series driver. You're tuned in from the track to the community on Wide World of Motorsports, the #1 motorsport show in the community.